Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to episode 2 of PencilMania. What we are going to be looking at today is some Crayola Twistables. Now, I have them in this bag here, which came out of my coloring case. This is where I store them right now, okay? So let's go ahead and take them out, and let's just take a look at what they look like. Now, Crayola Twistables, what we're doing is we're keeping within our budget-friendly reviews, at least for the time being. With the holidays upon us, you know, people are, you know, thinking about gifts and stuff, and so when we are looking at needing to buy gifts for a lot of people, budget-friendly things would be very wise. So anyway, here is what the Crayola Twistables look like. Now there are 30 pencils in here. You have 30 Twistables. I don't know if they have bigger sets. I don't think so. So I think the biggest that you can get is the 30 pack, okay? And now what happens with these is you kind of get a little bit of an idea of what the color looks like both on the pencil, and then also if you kind of look on the back of the pencils here, you get just a little bit of an idea of what the color looks like. But your best bet is to actually swatch them out, okay? I'm gonna put these back in my bag so I don't drop them everywhere. Okay, and I'm going to show you the swatches that I did for these pencils. Whoops. Oh my goodness. See, this is what I mean. Stick them back in here so they don't fly everywhere. I really like this little pouch for holding these pencils. I think this does very nicely. Okay. So, there we go. So, anyway, your best bet with these pencils is to do a swatch chart. And let me just go ahead and show you mine. I keep my swatches in this huge binder. This is a blue binder that I have made swatches, and I do these on cardstock. Here are our Crayola Twistables. These are the swatches for the Crayola Twistables. So they have a good selection of colors. You know, there's 30 of them in here, and you're not going to get like a whole slew of colors like if you had a 72 set or whatever, but 30 colors, you know, that's not too bad, and it makes a nice set to actually travel with, to be able to color, because you may not want to bring any of your very large sets when you're traveling, okay? So this does nicely to kind of get you started on a picture, and you can also use these in conjunction with your regular Crayola colored pencils, okay? So we're going to look at how they color, and I will show you a little bit more of how these pencils work, because these are unique pencils, meaning that you don't really have to sharpen them. We're just going to use this piece of cardstock here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to test how they blend, and we're going to test for erasability, you know, just pretty much like what we did with the Castle Art pencils. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick just a few colors, and I will be right back and we'll get started on our testing. Okay, so we just kind of grabbed 3 random colors just for our little testing. Now, how these pencils work, these are actually quite unique because you don't really have to sharpen these. These are called twistables for a reason. So you twist the little knob on the back of the pencil, and out comes your lead. Okay, can you see that? Oop, can you guys see that? And then to put it back in, you just twist it, you twist the back of it, and it goes back in, okay? So these are pencils that don't require a lot of maintenance. However, you're not really gonna have a sharp point on this. It's very blunt, so to do detailed work, it's gonna be really hard. Now, there was a hack, and I heard about this, I didn't see it, but I think on somebody else's channel, they figured out how to actually sharpen it to a point, and I think you have to twist it way out and then just be really careful and then just sharpen like in a manual sharpener or something, but I've never tried it. I really don't use these for detailed work or anything. I don't really use these too terribly much because I do have other pencils that I like better, but these are good for if you're gonna travel and you don't want to take your a lot of like tools and things, you know, so like if you don't want to take your pencil sharpeners or whatever. So we're just gonna see how it colors, and I have this cardstock now, just so you guys know, I am doing this with a visual impairment like I have always said, so I have to get close to my work so I can see what I'm doing. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that, just in case you see my head in the way. I try to keep that out of the picture as much as possible, but it likes to creep in there because I have to get so close. All right, so let's just look and see how these color, and we'll look at erasability and how they blend and stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna, you know what, instead of like doing just a sphere, I'm just gonna kind of just start coloring with these. Now you can go like really, really soft, like so, but you're not gonna get a whole lot of color payout if you go really soft. So with these, I tend to kind of use like a medium-ish pressure to get these going, okay? Because now also another thing that to keep in mind as you're doing this is that as you color with these kind of tend to twist back into the casing as you go, because as you push down, it makes the back of the pencil twist, and then you have to go back and twist out to get more, you know, to bring your lead back out. But it does lay down very nicely. You just have to kind of have to use maybe just a little bit more pressure. The colors on these, like if you compare these to some of the other pencils, they're not as vivid. They're not as vivid or vibrant. All right, sorry about that. Every time I get to doing something, this phone wants to ring. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, they're just not gonna be as vibrant as some of the other pencils that you may like to color with. So let's go ahead and see about blending a couple of these colors. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this pencil here, and again, we're just gonna twist it out, and we're just gonna kind of just start coloring over this part here. And I just kind of grabbed like 3 random colors, so we're just gonna see how it works. Now these do blend pretty well. There's some colors that blend better than others. Now it's not going to blend as easily as other pencils, so you're gonna have to work with it a little bit. You know, just be aware of that. And I'm just using medium pressure because like if you go really, really soft, you're just not gonna get as much color payout. And again, I have to twist it. You're just not gonna get as much color payout if you go really soft. I mean, if you want like a real soft, pastel-y kind of look, you know, you can do that, but I like my colors to actually show up on the page. Okay, so then I'm going to take this lighter pencil that I used before, and we're going to try to get it to blend a little bit. So I'm kind of pressing just a little bit just to kind of get it to work. And just to kind of fade it out a little bit, like so. So it blends into itself very nicely. Like I said, it blends better with some colors than it does with others. And like I said, I just grabbed like 3 random ones. So these actually do very well considering, you know, See, can you guys see that? So you can get it to work. You just have to work with it a little bit. It's not going to be as effortless as like your Prismacolors or even your Faber-Castell polychromos, although the polychromos are harder lead, so you have to work with that just a little bit more. But I mean, we're talking like, you know, polychromos and Prismas, you know, we're talking like definitely a different price point for those kind of pencils. Okay, so these, you know, for what they are, they actually do very well. And if you don't have much money to spend, or if you're just looking for just something nice to kind of take with you to travel, where you don't want to take a bunch of like your really nice stuff or whatever, this will get the job done. It really will. So, do I like them? Yeah, they're neat pencils for certain things. You you do get a pretty good selection of color, you know, for the 30 pencils you get. You get like a lot of blues and greens and stuff in this. Not too many reds or anything like that. Would it be a pencil that I would automatically go to all the time? No, because there are other pencils that I do like better. But these will get the job done. If you're looking for just something, you know, that's just a few bucks. I believe that they're like, the last time I looked on Amazon, I believe that they were like between $12 and $15 for the 30 pack set of these. But for certain things, they do great. If you're just looking for something to travel with without having to take pencil sharpeners and a bunch of other tools, it's great. Or if you don't have a lot of money to spend, it's great because these will get the job done. It's not like, you know, it's not like it's not going to get the job done, because it will. It will. And you can use these in conjunction with your regular Crayolas. Now, they don't really feel like the regular Crayolas. They're softer, I think, than the regular Crayolas. To me, these are more like between a, it kind of feels more of like a cross between a pencil and a crayon. But it does lay down pretty nicely for what they are. You're going to get some wax buildup, you know, because there's a lot of wax in these. But they do get the job done if you're just looking for something quick and easy and something that's not going to break the bank for you. Okay, so let's just look at erasability. You know, how easily do these erase? So what we're going to do is we'll do some light pressure. We'll go in and do some light pressure, and then we'll look. Then we'll do some. We'll go in to do some medium pressure and then some heavy pressure. Okay, so I'm using some pretty soft pressure right now on this part. Okay, now I'm going to push down just a little harder, do some medium pressure. And then I'm really going to push down and do some heavy pressure. Okay, there we go. Now let's look at how this is going to erase. And I'm just going to grab my Derwent eraser out of my little trusty bag. Now, this bag I got is just when I was getting the Ipsy subscription, these are the kind of bags that you get, and so that's just a little Ipsy bag that I have a lot of my stuff in. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at erasability. Okay, I need to make sure that I'm in frame, okay? So let's just look at this. I'm gonna make a pass over the light one right there. That erases pretty good. Now, we'll do it over the medium. That erases pretty good too. Now let's go over the heavy one. That doesn't erase as nicely. You're going to have a little bit of the color remaining, but if you make an oopsie, you can erase it enough that you can probably put another color over it and you could get away with it. So it erases pretty nicely. Just like any other pencil, just put it down lightly. You can layer it up. You can layer them, but it's not going to take as much layers because it is a waxy formula. It's not going to layer as many times as other pencils are going to layer, okay? But if you put light layers on, it's easier to take the color away than it is if you really lay it on thick and then have to go back and erase it. I mean, you can do it, but it's just not going to erase all the way just like any other pencils. All right, so we're going to come back and we're going to do some actual coloring in one of my coloring books. And then we'll talk more about these pencils and how we like them. But, you know, like I said, for what you would pay for them and for getting the job done, I mean, it works. You know, it works. It really does. And are they my favorites? No, they're not, but it does get the job done. All right, so let me go ahead and grab one of my coloring books, and I will be right back with you guys, and we'll do a little bit of coloring. Okay, guys, so what we're going to work on is this page here out of this Dollar General coloring book. This is the Coloring Flowers coloring book, and I figured the Crayolas and Twistables and stuff would work very well on this kind of paper. This paper isn't too bad. It's actually quite thick, but I think the Twistables would actually work really well on this. So we're going to just color in a couple of these flowers and just kind of see how it's going to go. So I'm just going to take just a darker and lighter shade of something that I hope is gonna blend together nicely. And then we'll kind of do just a little bit of coloring on this, okay? We'll go ahead and do this big flower down here, okay? So I'm just gonna kind of just start out with this lighter color here and just try to keep my head out of the way as much as I can. And we'll just color in just a little bit of this and just kind of see how it's gonna work and blend together and stuff here. So I'm using some light pressure right now, and I'm going to go into some medium pressure just to kind of get the color to pop a little bit more on here. Okay. So then we're going to take a darker color and we're just going to try to blend it in a little bit and just make it look a little bit more blended. And we'll see how this is going to work out. The color is laying very nicely down on this paper. It's actually doing very well. So hopefully we can get this to blend together. And it looks like it's going to do that just nicely. So it's kind of a weird color for this flower, but I figured it's my coloring book and this is just kind of a test practice page a little bit. So we're going to color, I think when I do these flowers, I'm going to do them like all different colors and stuff. I'm going to do that. Just because I want to. It's my world and my coloring book, so we're going to do it that way. This would actually make a kind of a nice skin tone, this color, I think. Add just a little bit of darker here. Now I got a different tripod set up for my table here, so I'm hoping that this will work out better and you'll be able to see my hands a lot more. We'll look at this and test it out and see how we do. Yep. Okay, so now I'm just going to color in with the lighter color here. I think these flowers are supposed to be roses. I've never heard of an orange rose, but in my world we're going to have an orange rose. Just because I want one. You don't really get like too many pinks or, you know, many reds in this set. You would have to use your regular Crayolas to get more of that, I think. But you do get a lot of blues, a lot of greens in this set. So you could actually get away with doing some, you know, a lot of like nature, landscape kind of thing if you want. So tomorrow, now today is Thursday the 30th, so tomorrow is the kickoff for our Sweet Colorful Christmas, which Anne and I are hosting together from Anne from A Colorful Life. We are hosting that together. We did a live stream yesterday. Oh my gosh, like what a trip. What a trip. We were trying to test drive this dual chat thing. And because there's like, when you do a live stream on Facebook, you can add a second person into the chat. Not the written chat, but like on the actual stream. And so we were trying to test that out, and she was having a heck of a time trying to get me added in. She accidentally blocked me. And oh my gosh, what a fracas. But she finally got it to work. Like we were having such a hard time because like we couldn't get messages back and forth to each other. She was trying to message me, I was trying to message her, and like when I would try to send her a message, it would say this person is not receiving messages right now. So I couldn't get anything to her. And I knew that she probably wasn't going to be checking her email. So I didn't even email her or anything, but I kept trying and trying to send a message to her like, Ann, I can't get on. And we finally got it to work. She had to like unblock me. Oh my gosh, it was rather quite an interesting time, but we did get it to work. We had a great time, and I think we had like 30 people helping us test it. So they came into the chat to leave comments and stuff, and it was on her group. She has a Facebook group, her Colorful Life group, and so she did the live stream there. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of live streams during this color along. And she's going to do one on her group, and I'm going to do one on my group. So if you have not joined my group, it's called Color with Sharon and Friends. Do that. Send a request to join, and I'll take care of that. There's like 3 little questions you'll have to answer. And it's just to kind of keep the spam and stuff out, you know. Nothing major. You know, because it's not the place for spam, and it's not the place for like, you know, political debates or anything like that. So I just wanted to put those questions up, you know, for the, you know, for people to answer, so that we know that we're not going to get any kind of spam or any kind of like BS on there that shouldn't be on there. Because like if we get anything like that on there, the comment will go. I keep pretty close tabs on that. But yeah, send a request to join the Facebook group. It's called Color with Sharon and Friends. The link will be down there in the description, so you can look at that and join that. And so on Ann's group and on my group, we're going to be sharing our colored pictures. So don't forget to join her group and my group, because our color along is going to kick off tomorrow. And we would love to have you join for that. We're not coloring out of any specific book, just grab anything that is winter related or Christmas related that you already have in your collection, and join us. So as you can see, these pencils do pretty well on this paper, and these 2 colors, at least they're blending pretty good. You can always go in and add a little bit more layers if you want to. It's not gonna, like I said, it's not gonna layer like other pencils will, because it does have a wax. They are waxy. But you can get some really nice shading with these things. So they will get the job done. But these are better for bigger spaces, because, as I said, they're not gonna have a sharp point unless you figure out how to sharpen them. I think somebody already did, but I have not tried it. I'm kind of afraid to try it because I don't want to wreck my pencil. Although if you bork one up, it's not like these are so expensive that you're gonna cry. The only thing with these pencils is, well, one thing with these pencils, I won't say the only thing, is that they're not open stock. When you're talking about budget-friendly pencils, chances are you're not going to have an open stock option. So if you run out of a color, you're going to have to, and if you really want that color, you're going to have to go buy another set of these. So there's kind of a toss-up with these budget-friendly things. Like, yeah, they're budget-friendly. You know, you're not going to spend a lot of money for them. However, if you use a certain color a lot, and if you keep running out of it, then you're going to end up having to go buy a new set, like, very repeatedly. and which is going to run you into some money, and then you're going to end up having a bunch of extras of pencils that you may not use as much. Because let's face it, you know, there's certain colors that we use that are favorites, and so it's kind of a toss-up. Like you could spend the extra money and get artist grade pencils. You know, they're going to be more expensive. Like we're talking polychromos, we're talking Prismas, you know, luminance, you know, that kind of stuff that you can get open stock. The downside to that is it is expensive to get a set of those. However, if you get a set and if you run out of a pencil, you can get that open stock, and you would only have to buy just that particular pencil. You don't have to buy a whole set to get the color you want. So depending on how you look at it, you could look at it like, okay, yeah, these twistables are budget friendly, you're not paying a lot of money for them, but when you need another pencil of a certain color, you're paying more to get, you know, to have to buy that set again just to get the pencil that you need. So it's however you want to look at it. It's a personal preference. There's no right or wrong way. You know, it is a personal preference. You just have to decide. You just have to decide what's best for you, and is it worth it? You know, is it going to be worth it? So yeah. But these actually blend out pretty nicely. I can't really complain too much. Now, like I said, there's some colors that blend better than others, but these two that I'm working with right now, it seems to work out very, very well. So, are these the best pencils that I've ever used? Definitely not. Are they the worst? Oh no. Believe me, I had a set of pencils that I absolutely hated, and those were called the Voyage color pencils, and I think there were 52 the pack, and it came in a tube, and oh my gosh, like I hated those things with a passion. I tried to give them a fair shake. I did use them a couple of times, but the colors weren't very vivid at all. They weren't very vibrant. They looked very, very washed out. And they kept breaking on me. And they just did not blend at all. Hardly at all. So they were really, really hard to work with. And so I decided that I just couldn't deal with them. I couldn't deal. I mean, see, look at how nicely that blends right there. Look at that. So I decided that I just couldn't deal with it. So I gave them to my daughter to use, and even she didn't like them either. You know, and she just uses her Crayolas and Twistables and stuff, you know, for her stuff, because she likes to color on occasion. Not like I do, I don't think, but even she didn't like the Voyager pencils, so we donated them. She took them to the library, and we said, try them out, see if you think they're gonna work for anything, because like they'll have coloring stuff over there. So we said, you know, just try them out, see what you think, and if you don't like them, just pitch them. You know, don't use them if you hate them, because they're not very good. But you know, but like for their coloring stuff, like the lady brings some like some Crayolas and gel pens and stuff. And, you know, the library doesn't have very expensive stuff either, which is good because, you know, they just have just a certain amount budgeted for this kind of stuff. But, and then they get stuff donated, like there's, you know, people that'll bring them some extra Crayolas and stuff to use, or gel pens. So we said use them if you want to, pitch them if you hate them, you know. It's not going to hurt our feelings any. I bought them, I tried them, couldn't stand them. But, you know, there might be other people that like them, and that's fine. So, I think our flower is going to come out pretty nice. We'll do a little bit more of this. But I think I'm going to do these flowers in all different colors. Because it is my coloring book and I can do it that way. But these Dollar General coloring books are actually pretty nice. I like them a lot. Like I said, you do have to kind of work with these twistables a little bit to get them to blend. If you have like a carpal tunnel issues or like a tendonitis or something, it could end up hurting your hand after a while because you kind of have to press down a little bit to get these to blend out. But if you can deal with that, these pencils will get the job done. You can get away with using these, especially like on an airplane or if you're going to some place where you can't bring a lot of stuff. These will do good in a pinch. And these will complement with your regular Crayola pencils nicely. So really there's nothing wrong with these pencils. It will do the trick. You can actually make some very nice pictures with these. So you can add these to your collection without batting too much of an eyelash about doing it. Yeah, so I like these pencils. You know, they're great for getting the job done when you don't want to take a lot of other stuff. The price is right. You can't really beat the price, of course. Like I said, it can be a catch-22 because, like, if you run out of a color and have to buy the set again, that can run you into some money. Sometimes you can find some good deals for these twistables. Maybe Dollar General or Walmart would have them cheaper than what you can find them on Amazon. Sometimes that happens. But I will link this pack of twistables in the description section so you can get them from Amazon if you wish. Now, just as a little disclaimer, I am an Amazon affiliate, so any money that I make from, like if you choose to purchase anything from the links that I provide, I get a small, tiny little commission back. And it just helps, it goes right back into this channel to help support it, and it helps me be able to do videos like these where I can review different pencils and show you guys how different pencils work and so forth. So I will link, now I can't link the book in there because I think these books are only sold at like Dollar Tree and Dollar General. I've tried to find these books on Amazon before, but I can't. But I will link the twistables in the description section so you can look at those and purchase those on Amazon if you wish. But these are some nice pencils to have in your collection for, certain things. These are not bad pencils at all. I can't really complain too much. Just keep in mind you have to work with it a little bit to get it to blend. Some colors are going to blend better than others. And the pencils don't have a sharp point on them. The point is very blunt. I know some people have issues with that. But if you can deal with that, then these pencils would do you pretty good, I think. We're going to color in the rest of this flower, and then I think we're going to stop the video. I have two more little things to do. See, like in books like this, where where you have a lot of big spaces, these pencils would work very well on them. And it does, like if you press down, I'm not exerting like totally heavy pressure. It's more like a medium pressure that I'm doing now. But you can get some pretty good color out of these. Is it going to be as vivid and bright as other pencils? No, it's not. And I wouldn't like use these next to Prismacolors because like I remember one time, I think it was either my Crayolas or my Twistables, like I had started something out with Prismacolors and I wanted to test it and just see how the Crayolas stood up next to them. And like looking, if you have the Prismacolors and if you have the Crayolas like side by side, the Crayolas and the Crayola Twistables look very, very, very drab next to Prismacolors. So you're definitely going to see a difference in color quality between Crayola and Prismacolors. But if you use these by themselves or with your regular Crayola pencils, they're very compatible. And the regular Crayola pencils have more colors to them. So that's what I would recommend. Just use your Crayolas like by themselves, and you can actually make some really nice pictures with them. So you can get the job done with Crayolas. You can. Is it my go-to pencil? No. But do I use them? Yes, I do. Yes, I do for certain things. And certain books. Okay, just a little bit more on this flower to go, and I think we will stop this video, but I wanted to just show you. Now I'm just using the two colors here on this, but you kind of get the idea. You do get the general idea on how these work. And I'm pressing down just a little bit just to get my color going. So I'm using medium pressure. Now I could really press down on this and get a darker color, but when you do that it makes it a little harder to blend. So your best bet is to layer them. But just keep in mind that you're not going to get as many layers on these pencils as you would with other pencils, because these pencils do have a lot of wax in them. There's a lot of wax binder or filler in this. Same thing with the regular Crayolas. They're very waxy. With pencils like these, you're going to get more filler than you are pigment. So you're not going to get as rich of a color. If you want like really rich, vibrant colors, these pencils really aren't going to give it to you. I mean, you get some pretty colors, but stacked up to other pencils, they're not going to be as rich or vibrant or vivid. So you're going to have to work around that a little bit, or just know that if you want like a softer look, these pencils would be very good at that. You can get a softer look with these pencils. Get something to look very pastel-y. But it blends. It blends out pretty nicely, you know. You just have to work with it a little bit. See? See? Look at that. And that is our flower. That is one of our flowers in this. So this is how the Crayola Twistables color. And so when you're just done with your twistable, then you twist it back in. See, out comes the core. You guys see that? Let's see. Can you guys see that? Out comes the core. Then you just twist it back in and in it goes. So I always try to keep my pencils twisted back in when I am done using them, just to keep them from breaking. It protects them when they are back into their casing. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little review and look at the Crayola Twistables. Again, I will link them in the description section so you can purchase them from Amazon if you so choose. Stay tuned for more episodes of PencilMania because there's going to be a lot more where that came from. And go ahead and leave a comment. Hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more of these episodes. And you all have a great day. Leave a comment and tell me what you think. Have a great day, and we will see you in the next video. Okay, bye guys.